Welcome to Mark Medley's Everything Disney.
To infinity and beyond!
My dad worked as a carpenter in the World's Fair buildings. He eventually ended up in Chicago as a contractor. And he was doing that when I was born. December 5th, 1901. But my dad made some money as a contractor. And he wanted to get back to the farm. And he finally ended up buying this farm in Marceline, Missouri. And it was a beautiful farm. But it was not the kind of farm to make a living on. Things got pretty tough on the farm. My dad had sickness. So my dad sold the farm, took the money, and went to Kansas City. And my dad bought this Kansas City Star route. And they gave me a route. I was about 9 or 10 when I started that. Winter, we'd go out at 3:30 in the morning right after a blizzard, or in a blizzard, or in pouring rain. It didn't matter. I did that for 6 years. It was tough.
It seems that everywhere Walt's father turned, he found failure, and the constant struggle took its toll on the family. One by one, the children began to leave home. Then came the day Walt woke up to find his best friend, his brother Roy, had gone as well.
We call it a multiplayer camera. The problem was how to take a painting and make it behave like a real piece of scenery under the camera. The different elements in the scene were separated according to their varying distances from the viewer. With our original picture broken down in this manner, it is possible to control the relative speed with which each individual part of it moves to.
My brother had joined the Navy, so I wanted to join it. Well, I was still a year too young. I was 16. Finally, this kid come in to me very excited. He said, "There's something just forming here that you and I can get in." I said, "What is it?" He said, "An ambulance unit." I was in Paris, 3rd of September, when Pershing pulled out. Paris, which had been this exciting thing, with all these soldiers and things, suddenly there wasn't a soldier to be seen. And I suddenly became very lonesome. So then I went in and put a request in to be discharged. Well, I hit Chicago. That's where my parents were living. And I said, "Dad, I want to be an artist." And my dad, he just couldn't buy that. So I pulled stakes and moved to Kansas City. Roy was in Kansas City working at a bank. One of the fellows working with Roy said, "Say, I have a couple of friends that have an art shop." So I went up to these samples, and there were all these corny things I'd done in France. So my gosh, they hired me. I mean, right on the spot. So I took the camera home, and then I started experimenting.
This is a doozy here. That's where my heart is turning. Hey! This is the plan.
But then I went into this Kansas City Film that time. So that was where I got started in the animation business. So I was thinking if I had something with a novel twist, I might crack the market. But I still couldn't get anywhere with it. I failed. I learned a lot on that. And I think it's important to have a good hard failure when you're young.
I packed all my early goods in a cardboard suitcase. I went to Hollywood. Arriving there with just $40 in my pocket from my Kansas City ventures. Now my brother Roy was already in Los Angeles. Both of us were unemployed. We solved the problem by going into business for ourselves. We established the first animated cartoon studio in Hollywood.
Walt was finally coming true. He had his first commercial success, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. And Walt himself was lucky enough to marry the girl of his dreams, Lillian, a pretty ink and paint girl who worked at his studio.
Walt
Then he was
Disney's
dealt
Disneyland.
I have your book.
Each
Oh, look
week
at
as
the
you enter this
castle.
timeless land, one of these many worlds will open to you. Frontierland. Tall tales and true from the legendary past. Tomorrowland. Promise of things to come. Adventureland. The wonder world of nature's own realm. Fantasyland, the happiest kingdom of them all.
Then he was dealt a tough blow. On a trip to New York City, he learned that through a contract loophole, he had lost ownership of Oswald. And to make matters worse, the distributor had signed away all of Walt's artists. Devastated, he headed back home to California. But something happened along the way that would change his world forever.
Mickey Mouse came into our life.
He popped out of my mind onto a drawing pad on a train ride from Manhattan to Hollywood at a time when the business fortunes of my brother Roy and myself were at lowest ebb and disaster seemed right around the corner. His first actual screen appearance was at the Old Colony Theater in New York in Steamboat Willie. He was the first cartoon character to stress personality, and I thought of him from the first as a distinct individual. I did the voice.
Hang on, pal. Here we go.
Mickey was simply a little personality assigned to the purposes of laughter.
Medium-like television to let the people know about it.
The world is a carousel of color, history, comedy, fantasy. There's drama and birth, there's old Mother Earth, with all of her secrets to see. The miracle of imagination, the marvels of earth, sea, and sky. These wonders untold are ours to behold in the funny world, the sunny world, the wonderful world of Earth.
And now your host, Walt Disney. Today, I want to share with you some of our ideas for Disney World. Here in Florida, we have something special we never enjoyed at Disneyland, the blessing of size. There's enough land here to hold all the ideas and plans we could possibly imagine. Everything in this room may change time and time again as we move ahead. But the basic philosophy of what we're planning for Disney World is going to remain very much as it is right now. We know what our goals are. We know what we hope to accomplish. And believe me, it's the most exciting and challenging assignment we've ever tackled at Walt Disney Productions.
Well, after 40-some-odd years in the business, my greatest reward, I think, is that I have the public appreciate and accept what I've done all these years. That is a great reward. And I think by this time, my staff, my group of executives are convinced that Walt is right, that quality will out. And I think that'll hang on after Disney.
Walt Disney once said, "I hope that we never lose sight of one thing, that it was all started by a mouse." But we know it was really all started by a man with a dream, and a mouse.
Like a boat out of the blue, fate steps in and sees you through. When you reach upon the star, your dreams come true.
This has been a Rockanium production.